In this video, we're going to talk about how you can lose your money in crypto and in stocks by investing in a wrong way, using wrong strategies, and basically doing everything really bad. So we're going to go one by one. I collected different pieces from different sources, Twitter, Reddit, and other places of stories trying to picture what people are doing wrong. So this is of course anti-advice. Everything you see here, do not try to copy that because you're going to lose your money. And we're going to start with the first one: overtrading your way to zero. So overtrading is something that happens very often, especially in crypto. You're trying to get the pumps, try to sell on dumps, basically, buy on dips, sell on rips, and this is the story of a guy who managed to round-trip everything. So he turned 3 BTC into 200 BTC and then lost it all. I thought I was a trading genius, a god, whatever. Anyway, this is where the sadness starts. After the dump from 90k to 11k, that was like 3 years ago, went long at the bottom, kept adding to my position on the bounce, and then he got liquidated. So my position was further. First of all, he was in profit, but then thinking about having 300 BTC, I increased leverage and increased my position size. So this entire position was liquidated on a drop back to 12k. Because my entry had moved up so much, I lost 100 BTC paper profit and nearly 50 BTC margin, devastated and down to 150 BTC. Then he kept on adding and trying to get a dead cat bounce timed correctly. Again, shorted. At 12k, added at 13k, added at 14, 15, got liquidated at the top at 17k, another 50 BTC loss down to 100. You think, okay, we made higher, went long, got liquidated at 30k. So a couple of market movements entirely against what he was trying to get. 50 BTC left, but then he was trying on, and basically got liquidated to zero. So yeah, still in shock. Basically, he managed to round-tripped everything he got from the playing poker to zero. So do not overtrade. Have a strategy. Of course, undertrading can also be bad, but mostly overtrading is much worse, and this is how you get chopped, especially in a choppy market. Undertrading can also be bad because you can just hold things to zero. We're going to see stories like that as well. Now, the second thing is a story from Confessions. If you didn't know, Confessions, they're trying to have different confessions from people trading coins. However, I don't know how true some of them are. Of course, we never know on the internet, but I expect some of them to be true. Now, this guy lost 20k trading memes, and he really couldn't afford to lose. That was all my money I had ever saved up. I'm now in debt, jobless, and depressed. I'm now coping very well. I feel like an absolute failure. It took me years to save that 20k and days to lose it. So he not only managed to put his full net worth into meme coins that he didn't understand, probably thinking about making quick buck, but he managed to lose it all. Especially if you're starting with crypto, do not expect to have meteoric gains. Sometimes you might hit the jackpot, but that's not the rule. On the contrary, the rule is that you don't know what you're doing. So especially don't put the money that you can't afford to lose. This is especially true if you try to take loans. We're going to see two stories now about taking loans. This guy has quite a bit of BTC, 600k worth of BTC that he put as collateral, and he took out a loan for 300k. So he took that loan and basically probably wanted to do something with that, but because BTC started to go down from the initial 65k, he got liquidated at 37k. So a few minutes before the pump to 40k, but today, because of indirect mixing exposure, that was what he was accused of, lost more than half of BTC holdings, have a huge tax bill, and was screwed out of fortune. So basically, he managed to lose it because of taxes and taking a loan. Taking a loan, especially in crypto, means that you are either shorting or longing, depending on what kind of things you're doing. If you just take the loan, then that's shorting. But if you take the loan in order to, for example, buy more BTC. That's like longing and putting on leverage. So you have to remember that whenever you take a loan, there's a leverage coming into the place, and you can get liquidated. Now this guy really was in crypto for a long time, 3 cycles, but lost hundreds of thousands of pounds in crypto. He remortgaged 2 buy-to-lets, so two properties, took 134 pounds to put it into crypto, lost it all in a project that went to zero, and then had a 8,000 pounds stolen from a hot wallet on the phone, put 40k into MetaMask, and basically that became corrupted, lost the key. So altogether, he's in debt after playing in crypto. So you also have to think, here are of course a couple of things. I don't know exactly the scenario, but if you're after 3 cycles and you're losing constantly money, then something is not working with your strategy. You shouldn't be especially taking loans against your house or whatever to buy crypto. Money in crypto is the most risky money that you ever put in, so that should be the money that you're willing to lose. You can think about it as a fun money, the money that you would, for example, use with friends going out to the bar or going somewhere fun and using that for entertainment. Never use the money that you really need, or the money that will put you in debt, because this is not how you play this game. Now, this guy was playing with options and derivatives, and that he really didn't understand well, or basically there was a sleep because he didn't sleep enough. So what he did was he was trying to buy 100 options, but he ended up buying 100 contracts, which is 10,000 option calls. This means that basically he scaled quite a lot, and that put him in debt, because those options, of course, were worthless in the end. Of course, if he did the right direction, maybe he could make everything back, but basically he was down nearly $1 million in cash, rushed to sell, didn't manage to do it in time. Altogether did something like negative 300k in cash, and that was like in 1 day. So huge loss. You really can't do this kind of losses just in crypto, because you can't go with more than you have in your bank. Of course, with stocks you have plenty of options to do that. With options, for example, not happening with crypto for now, but of course, as the previous story showed, you could always take a loan outside and use that in crypto. Don't do that. Don't try to put too much. This is another thing with derivatives. You have to think about taxes. So this is also true for stocks and crypto. If you have capital gains, you will have to pay taxes on that, unless you sometimes manage to, for example, take your losses and also get that into that. But if you're not careful, and for example, if you have gains 1 year and lose everything next year, then you still have to pay the gains for the previous year, even if you don't have to pay, even if you have the funds to pay from them. So you have to remember to have put money aside for taxes. So that's a very important thing. That happened also a lot in 2021 with people being super ecstatic, and then 2022 came. They lost everything, Luna, FTX, and so on, and didn't manage to pay the taxes. Now, this guy just basically started to give up after 5 years in crypto, and basically didn't manage to make anything, ended up with regrets. Of course, this is another thing about, you have to know why you're here. If you're just here to make money, that's probably fine, but then you have to have systems in place. You have to understand the game you're playing and make sure that you're playing it right. If you don't have gains after 5 years or even less than that, then probably crypto is not for you. And it's fine. It's not for everyone. Stocks are not for everyone. You have to understand what you're doing. Now, finally, we have the story of losing money you were not supposed to lose. This story is about the guy who lost his kids' college money, been saving for a long time, went from 300k to 69k, and he's graduating next year. Many stories like that, people that were losing, like the guy who remortgaged his house, or trying to or buying properties. You have to remember that crypto is super risky. Stocks are risky, especially if you play on leverage. You can lose everything, and even more than that. So be careful out there. So this is it for the topic on how you can lose money on crypto and stocks. Of course, you have to be careful. Altogether, there are many different stories, but if you have a strategy in place and it gives you some money from time to time, or if you're losing some portions of money, but you feel like learning and there's a learning curve, this is good. You don't want to be super emotional. You don't want to, YOLO and FOMO into particular trades just because someone said something on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, or elsewhere. You want to be careful with how you manage your money. And investing game or trading game, whether that be crypto, stocks, or anything else, is all about having those systems in place, from risk management to understanding what is your strategy. Meme coins, for example, are good, but you have to understand what kind of meme coins you're buying. Like, for example, me on my channel, I trade meme coins. I show my positions. Those are mostly related to culture coins, and usually I like the memes, the particular memes that I'm going into, or I see that the people that that I follow this particular meme project. So there's some kind of a social proof in this case. When it comes to the bigger projects, and also with meme coins, I'm just using part of my net worth. I'm using the money that I'm willing to entirely lose. I'm not trying to get all my money, get the additional loans, and try to full port into a particular meme coin with the understanding that maybe I will do 10x and then will never have to work ever again and just do everything in one shot. That's just not realistic, and you have bigger chances of just getting completely wiped out and getting your money to zero. So have realistic goals, understand what's possible, because there are, of course, stories of people winning a lot, people who, for example, bought WIF super early on and managed to just hold through the entire period and just start selling along the way. But of course, many stories of people that bought the right coin, bought Pepper early, round-tripped some of the gains, bought, for example, Doge early and round-tripped. Many stories like that. So be careful out there. And of course, subscribe to the channel and see you in the next video.